Hello, welcome to Wednesday, October 28th, daily instructional video. Today we're going to be writing an SAR, which is a short answer response. Before we get to that though, I need you to do your warm-up. Please read over these statements and see if they are fact or an opinion. Pause the video and go to Google Forms or Google Classroom and complete the Google form. Okay, so let's review. Let's see how well you did. According to California Licensed Beverage Association, business has dropped as much as 85% since the prohibition took effect. So, what is that? Fact or a statistic? It's a fact. We're giving some kind of statistic or data, so this would be a fact. Many smokers are treated like they are criminals. Okay, although this is probably true or can be true at times, this is not a fact. This is an opinion. Banning smoking in all public restaurants violates this principle and jeopardizes our freedom. Again, this is not a fact. It is someone's opinion based on evidence that they've formulated this opinion, but it is not fact. The Environment Protection Agency estimates that living with a smoker increases your chances of lung cancer by 19%. And so that one is a fact. A reminder about Red Ribbon Week if you are participating about it remotely. Tomorrow is, Went Thursday, which tomorrow would be Dress for Your Dream Career. Oh, pause.
Della and Jim have...
Okay, sorry. So we're going to write an SAR, which is short answer response. And before we do it, I'm going to model it with you over a story that we used to read called The Gift of the Magi. You might have read it in junior high, I'm not sure. It is an example, as it said, is situational irony. So just watch as a little recap, tells you a little summary, and I'll go in a little bit more depth. So you can pause the video and watch your video of The Gift of the Magi. It's just a gloss over. So just to recap what we saw. The Gift of the Magi is a short story by O. Henry featuring a married couple, Jim and Della, who is very poor. After saving money all year, Della was very upset that she could not afford a gift for Jim for Christmas. The only thing of value she had was her long, luscious hair. So she sold it and used the money to buy her husband a chain for his pocket watch, a watch that had been passed down for generations. When Jim came home, he was surprised to see Della's hair cut short. In shock, he threw her wrapped gift onto the table. She opened it and found the beautiful combs to put in her hair. She was extremely excited and assured her husband that her hair would grow back quickly. Della got up and retrieved the gift that she had bought for him. He opened it and smiled, telling her he had sold his watch to buy her combs, and they should put the gifts away and have dinner. So the question we're going to be looking at to write is who made the greatest sacrifice? In the Gift of the Magi, who made the greatest sacrifice? Was it Della or was it Jim? They both sacrificed their prized possession, but who made the biggest sacrifice or the greatest sacrifice? And hair combs, these are what was, this story is kind of set in the early 1900s. Women's hair was very long. Their beauty, that's how they really identified with their beauty, was the beauty of their hair. And for her to cut it off so short that she wasn't able to use this combs. And then he had a pocket watch. This was like his father, but it did not have a chain, a fob chain like this. And so that's why she cut her hair to buy a chain for his watch. All right, so topic sentence. The topic sentence job is to answer the question. So all you have to do is take the question and turn it into a statement, an answer. In the Gift of the Magi, who makes the greatest sacrifice? So we're going to take our subject plus our opinion. In the gift of the Magi, Jim makes the greatest sacrifice because he sells his watch, which is his most prized possession. So this is what I've got to prove, that he made a great sacrifice because he gave up his most prized possession. So I have to think about it. What would make this prized possession so great? I mean, why is it greater than Della's hair? She cut nearly all her hair off. How is it better? So go back to the text and you look. And when you're going to do, you're going to look for, you're going to create a T-chart. You're going to create some, find some evidence to support your answer, and then see that you can explain it into commentary sentence. So for example, here's a piece of concrete detail. Concrete detail, again, is evidence straight from the text. Notice I have quotation marks around it. Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. And then in quotation, page number and the period. That's proper MLA citation. So why then is this a good example? What is this saying? How does this prove my topic sentence to be true? This proves that Jim's watch is not valuable because it is gold, but because it is a sentimental item. By relinquishing the watch, Jim breaks his family tradition of passing on the watch while Della's hair will grow back in time. And that's all you have to do for your T-chart. So you find one evidence and then give two concrete detailed sentences that support it, explain it, and let your reader know why your answer, your topic sentence is correct. It's going to have to show some depth of thought. It's not you repeating what's over here. If you're just repeating, or if you find like you're stuck at one sentence and can't go two, that means you probably got a weak quote and you need to go back and rethink and figure out a better, stronger quote to talk about. You don't want anything that's very literal. You want something that will cause you to have to make an inference. That way you have something to write about and explain. Okay, so that's one concrete detail and two commentaries. And then I did another one. King Solomon, been a janitor with the treasures piled up in the basement, he would have pulled out his watches every time he passed just to see him pluck to his beard with envy. Okay, so now we're seeing another example showing how valuable Jim's watch is. So here's my commentary. This illustrates the attractiveness of Jim's watch, which is so nice that even a king would be envious. All right, this kind of desire proves Jim's sacrifice is the greatest. Okay, so now I want to think, okay, which of these two concrete details and commentary are my strongest? And whichever one I agree upon, that's the one I'm going to use. Well, I mean, this is good concrete detail, but my commentary is not the greatest. The first sentence is not so bad. It uses this illustrates, nice commentary word, attracting to Jim's watch. But I'm just starting here to repeat what, this kind of desire proves Jim's greatest sacrifice. I mean, that's just repeating the topic sentence. It's not showing any great depth of thought. It's not expanding on my response. So I'm going to say no. This is not my strongest, and this one is. So I'm going to take this information and work on writing my short answer response. So, and we're writing in paragraph form. So here is my topic sentence. In the gift of the Magi, notice it's blue because topic sentences are blue. Jim makes the greatest sacrifice because he sells his watch, which is his most prized possession. Now I'll go to concrete details. Desiring to give his wife a perfect Christmas gift, Jim sells his gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. Notice the concrete detail is just giving me facts, the details. Now, if I go back to my T-chart, though, you're like, well, all I see is quotes. I don't see those other words. That's right. All I'm putting here, the T-chart's just a rough draft. I'm going to clean up everything when I come to my writing. But what I need to do is I need to set that quote up. I can't tell my reader everything. I mean, they don't know how in love Della and Jim are, and how much they want to make each other happy, and they're willing to sacrifice something big, their most prized possession. But by setting it up by saying desiring to give his wife the most perfect Christmas gift, I've now set up the image of that quote about that the watch had been his father's and his grandfather's. And I explained a lot. I've explained that he's married, that he has a wife that he adores and wants to give her so much, but he struggles, and that he has a family heirloom that's of very great value. Now, commentary is going to explain how my concrete detail supports. So this green is going to explain how the red supports my blue. This proves that the watch is not valuable because it is gold, but because it is a sentimental item. So since I chose to use the one to sacrifice his watch that had been his most prized possession, on my concrete detail that I use that he sells his gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. I'm backing that up. I'm supporting that and explaining that it proves his watch is not valuable because it's a really expensive watch. It's because of the history behind it, the generations in it. By relinquishing the watch, Jim breaks his family tradition of passing the watch while Della's hair will grow back. So pretty simple, very straightforward. I've done some analysis, and even this last part is kind of leaning into my conclusion. And that's always a great thing to do. Again, this proves, that's one another of those commentary words. So you have to look at that commentary list and then decide what looks best. So closing sentence, please don't forget this. You have to wrap it up with a closing sentence. After all, a man's true value is not of its make, but of its memory. So just saying about it's not the make of the product, it's the memory. It can be the memories that you hold on forever about it. So notice how that was kind of thought-provoking, just like we do with our essays that we write in class. We want to end with a punch and leave our reader, really thinking. You can use these, the closing sentence, what we did, or the concluding paragraph that we did with the argumentative essay. If you look back on your notes, that could possibly help you. Okay, so now it's your turn to practice. So your prompt is, based on Senor Noboa's actions, how can he be characterized? So think about characterize. What are some adjectives that you would use to describe him? And then when you do that, you'll have your T-chart. And actually, I'm going to pull it up here. So this is what your T-chart will look like. I've given you direction. There's your prompt. I've given you directions. What you have to do is you're writing your first concrete detail here, and you're writing 2 commentaries to it, your second concrete detail, and your 2 commentary sentences to it. So you're just doing small little hamburgers. Small little, God, I don't know what to say that. You're just doing concrete details right here. And then 2 commentaries over here. Then you'll take it and you will compose your paragraph like I just showed you in this presentation, how we wrote it out here. Remember, when you're writing a paragraph, make sure that you indent, okay? If you want a color code, that's great. Remember, topic sentences are blue, concrete details are red, commentary is green, and closing sentences are blue. All right, so if you have any questions, please let me know. There's little text boxes. You should be just typing inside these. Please make sure you do your work. If you have any questions, I will be on Google Meets today, twice, 11 to 11:30 and 2:50 to 3:20. Don't forget, I only have 15 kids, so please come on out. We could have a whole class of 15 kids. That's not that many people, and we could do a little Google Meets together. If you don't need anything, great. But if you need something, if you want one-on-one, let me know. Email me, message me, and we can do a one-on-one conversation. So y'all take care, and I'll see you later.